how far do you take if you get in, you have a chance theory? Like, do you act like you're one player away and go for a big move now? Because I like the theory, but I don't think I let it affect me come trade deadline. Unless you're near the top.
What if the one player away is the goaltender?
So who's I mean, I was looking at a list of goalies. Who's the goalie, the sure upgrade? Because like the way Lions playing, you just kind of ride it. And, it was good to see him have a bounce back yesterday after the 11 of the 12 goals he gave up on the road trip, even though I wouldn't say it was all clearly his fault, but it's not the kind of performance that he probably, you could rattle a guy who's, in his 30s that is just, taking over this workload and is having some success. And you worry about his confidence after back-to-back games like that, but he bounced back. And, they probably need to spell him a little bit too.
Well, that's always great to see Reimer play as well as he did on Saturday. And we had people calling in yesterday. They were upset that Reimer didn't get the start yesterday afternoon. But I cautioned and said he's not the number one goalie. He did his job. And they view Lyon right now, he's the guy who deserves it. He's gotten the starts. He's played well enough. Now, the 2 games in Western Canada, he didn't play great in those games, but he wasn't, I guess, the Edmonton third period was awful for a bunch of reasons. But giving up 4 goals to Vancouver, there's not a ton of shame in that, given that Vancouver is one of the best teams in the league. Bounce back, and he did.
Yeah. So with that said, if I had to predict right now, like we're predicting, I predict that the Lions won't pick at 29. I'll predict that Steve Yzerman won't make a move.
I think Yzerman makes a move, but I think it's a minor move. Something that either sends like a 4th or 5th round pick somewhere to acquire another veteran player that adds more depth to the team that doesn't necessarily step into the lineup every night. Just, you're hedging against
then what's the point?
Injuries. Well, because injuries are going to take place.
And if a guy isn't good enough to play every night, then I would just call up Simon Edvinsson. I would just call up Berggren, Casper, whomever, right? I mean, I guess that's...
Well, it's weird because you go back to what Derek Lalonde said on the morning show a few weeks ago when they asked him about, Stoney asked him, he said, what would you like to add to this team? Do you want Steve Yzerman to add to this team? And Newsy answered the question.
Right.
And he said, well, wouldn't mind having another, forward that's versatile and, all around good. Like, what? It's awesome that he answers it. But so does that say something? Are they really looking at a potentially adding a forward?
Well, what about, you did mention goalie, and it would be great, but I think their only chance is to roll with Lyon and hope a little bit here.
Well, if it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, or it doesn't cost you any limb, if it's just a late draft pick to get someone who's like a veteran player like a Marc-Andre Fleury, or you got with Nashville Soros.
Yeah. Are you trading, though, for a goalie that is better than what Lyon has been in his career? Or are you trying to trade for a goalie that's better than Lyon's playing now? Because
if one's available,
if you're expecting a regression to the mean, but you already have a number of veteran goalies here. But if you're expecting a regression to the mean for Alex Lyon, then you just be trading for a goalie that's better than Lyon's been in his career, which hasn't been much.
Or are you trading for someone that's better than Reimer?
Well, I mean, I suppose.
So it's just added, if you're not convinced, and I'm not convinced that Alex Lyon is the guy. I like what he's done.
Got to.
But the whole sustainability question was brought up a few weeks ago. It's legit. So I'd like to solidify the goaltending room by getting someone who perhaps is more reliable than Reimer. Even though Reimer's coming off a shutout, it's hard to say that. However, prior to the shutout, he wasn't special. But if you added some kind of veteran goaltender, like a Marc-Andre Fleury, just for, have confidence in the backstop in case you need to throw somebody in there,